in Jacksonville. Time for preseason game number 3. Time for the McGowans. Weather conditions brought to you by McGowans, official heating and air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can see there, very comfortable at 83 degrees and a nice breeze from the east at 10 miles an hour. Only a slight bit of rain, which is good. I don't know whether you saw it last night, how much rain that the Tampa Bay area got. We're lucky to see 15%. Two people who are very grateful for that, Ashlyn Sullivan and Brent Martineau, who would have been out in it. Tonight they get to enjoy the weather. Hey, guys.
Hey there, Brian. Blake Bortles is developing into quite the comeback story here. Take you back a year ago this week. Doug Marrone opened up the quarterback competition, benched the QB. It was Chad Henne and Blake Bortles vying for that starting spot. Well, Blake Bortles won that job back, leads this team to an AFC championship game, and then got that contract extension in the offseason.
Absolutely. What a difference a year makes. Blake has grown so much as a quarterback, but also a leader. Earlier this week, he said he's just happy this third preseason game to just be the quarterback.
It feels good to not get benched this week, so I guess that's a positive. But you know, it didn't play good, and you know what happens at this level is if you don't play good, you know they're going to find somebody that can play.
So the biggest difference, I think, between 2017 Blake and 2018 Blake is the leadership. Earlier this week, Fournette said that the vocal leadership in the huddle has been the biggest difference.
Blake Bortles didn't even smile when he was funny to the media earlier this week, guys. He's looking to play into the third quarter here tonight with that first team.
All right, Brent. Ashlyn, we'll look forward to hearing from you throughout the evening. The Jaguars in their new uniforms, teal on white, look sharp. Calvin Ridley is back deep for the Falcons. Head coach Doug Marrone told us he wants to get these guys into the third quarter tonight, but we don't want to see any injuries. Don't be surprised if he sits some guys down when he feels like he's got enough out of them. Third preseason game. Jaguars kicking off. Josh Lambo waiting. Remember, new rules this year. The coverage team has to have 5 men on either side, and they cannot leave until the ball is kicked. And here's a high end-over-end kick, and Calvin Ridley will back up and catch it at the very back of the end zone. And the rookie first-round draft choice from Alabama will simply take a knee. All right, Jaguars send out their defense, and I look down and see number 20, 2.0 himself, Jalen Ramsey, who missed last week. And there's Matt Ryan, a quarterback that he mentioned he thought was a bit overrated, the 2016 NFL MVP. I wonder if early on you might not see Matt Ryan just toss one in the direction.
I'm sure the guys are glad to have Jalen back out there. He's their energy.
He talks it and he walks it. Fullback in motion. Play action, deep drop. Matt Ryan looks and comes back the other way and has a man. This one is caught. And it is a first down for Mohamed Sanu out across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Brian, the Jaguars came out here and just a zone coverage right here, and just a nice route by Manu right here down the field. Curl route, good catch by him. Sanu, excuse me, against Patman.
20-yard pickup there. First and 10 at the 45-yard line here on the opening drive, and a single high safety for the Jaguars. Jalen Ramsey playing in press coverage at the bottom of your screen, as he loves to. And here's Coleman over the right side. The Jaguars get him and put him down. Malik Jackson makes it a very short gain of just about a yard.
That was a really solid pursuit by Malik from the backside down the line there.
Tevin Coleman getting the start tonight in place of Devonta Freeman, who's one of those guys who had some nagging injuries for the Falcons and they decided to sit him.
As you can see, Malik right here, he's just running down the line, just grabs the running back and makes a great stop for his defense. Brandon
Fusco, the guard for the Falcons, dealing with Malik, the Pro Bowler a year ago. Here's second down and 9 in the shotgun. Here's Ryan, pressure coming. Ryan fires, and this one is caught by Coleman out of the backfield, and it appears he's got a first down to the 44 of Jacksonville. Stopped by the safety, Barry Church.
Brian, the Falcons, they're just taking what the Jaguars give them. There's a quick pass to the running back out of the backfield, so they're looking for matchups. They're trying to create matchups right now against what the Jaguars are giving them.
Gains of 20 and 10 on this drive already against this Jacksonville defense that didn't give up many of those last year. Sanu in motion to the bottom of the screen. Jaguars adjusting. Here's the handoff, play action. Back deep to throw. Out to the tight end. running to the right side, looking for room. And it's a gain of about 7 yards to the 37-yard line before Malik Jackson makes the stop on Logan Paulson.
As you can see here, the Falcons, they're doing everything. They're going all in their playbook. There's a tight end screen right there. Very nice setup and design. Good play by them, good pursuit by the defense.
So 2nd and 3. The Jaguars' 37-yard line here in the opening minutes of preseason game number 3. 3 receivers across the formation for Matt Ryan, who is under center.
They're doing a very good job of multiple sets to keep the Jaguars off balance.
Here's Coleman over the right side looking for the cutback. Finds room and dances between defenders up the middle of the defense to the 29-yard line where he is stopped. First down, Atlanta. Credit Avery Jones for making the tackle.
Here you have a zone, outside zone play by the Falcons right there. And they're just trying to create some tempo for their offense to keep the Jaguars off pace. Brian, I think this has probably been the most tempoed offense the defense has seen throughout this entire preseason.
It feels like it. And of course, 2 years ago, they were in the Super Bowl with the NFL MVP in Ryan. 6th play of the drive. It's 1st and 10 at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. One back in the backfield.
Ito Smith.
And here's the draw to Smith, and he's looking for room, and he is met by Miles Jack near the 26-yard line. Short gain of 3 yards.
And that's what you want to see from your middle linebacker. Just very smart guy, Miles Jack. Miles Jack, he's just a smart player overall. Here he is right here, Miles Jack right there. And he's a guy who's read his keys. He has a pulling offensive line, just beating through the block. Solid tackle on the running back.
He told us while we were in Minnesota about playing to the Posluszny standard, which means something when you're a middle linebacker in Jacksonville.
You're giving 120% effort.
2nd down, Ryan under a little bit of pressure. Is hit and dropped. Malik Jackson spun away from the offensive lineman. Got help from Yannick Ngakoue. It'll be 3rd and 10 from the 29. Malik Jackson has been a force around here since he arrived, but boy, has he had a great spring and summer.
Yeah, Malik right there, he just an awesome spin move, a nice swim move against the offensive lineman. And he's a guy that's very hard to block from the interior. Jaguars did well in bringing him in free agency.
3rd down and 10. The first 3rd down on this drive. Tight end right, 3 receivers at the top of your screen. Ryan takes the shotgun snap, pressure coming up the middle, launches this pass, and it is broken up. Tyler Patman, who gave up a 20-yard completion on the first play of this drive to Sanu, got over there to make sure this one will be a field goal attempt.
Patman filling in for Boye. And this entire defense confidence, just a quick out route by number 18 right there. Just an amazing break on the ball by Patman.
So here's Matt Bryant, the longtime Falcons kicker, on to try a 47-yard field goal attempt. Wind coming from the east, so shouldn't impact this kick at all. Opening drive, 10-14 to play first quarter. And Bryant puts his right foot into it. Looks like a little chip shot, and this one is good. 3-0. The Falcons find the scoreboard on their opening drive. 3-0 they lead. This is the Jaguars Television Network. It tells the story of the music scene, the vibrant music scene here in North Florida, and it was excellent. Marquise Lee is back deep to retrieve this kickoff. Doug Marrone told us he wanted to get a look at Marquise. You remember 2015, he had that long kickoff return in Houston. He's racing to get underneath one, far side of the field. Looking for room, bounces off one man, tries to go back outside, crosses the 20-yard line, and is brought down near the 22. Get a look at Andrew Norwell in that Jaguars offensive line trotting out there. Norwell signed a deal that made him the highest paid offensive guard, interior lineman at the time. He was then passed by Zach Martin in Dallas. But this is a big guy, and you mentioned earlier, if you're Leonard Fournette, you want to run behind big 68, don't you?
Of course you want to run behind. I mean, he's a guy who has great mechanics. Now, he has hat placement is always there where it's supposed to be, and he's strong at his hips. He's always low, has great center balance. Should open up some lanes for Leonard.
Here's Marquise in motion, play action. Pressure coming, Bortles turns, and he's going to run back against the grain and runs for about 4 yards to the 26-yard line. He ran into his own guy, A.J. Cann, which slowed him down a little bit. You know, the thing about Norwell that really cracked me up is, yeah, Fournette has a great personality, loves to talk. And he said, yeah, he's heard Andrew Norwell talk too when he says break in the huddle and nothing else. He's all football.
You love to have those big guys. They just come here to go to work for you. They don't complain. They just get out there and do their job and make the most of it.
One back is Fournette. Tight ends at the top of the screen, receivers at the bottom. 2nd down and 6. And here's Big Leonard looking for room, puts his head down, and look at him push the pile near the 30-yard line to set up 3rd down and short.
Brian mentioned Norwell. Look at him right there on a double team block coming off his guy, reaching back there to the free safety who had came down. Just a big, strong man. That's what you love to see from your guys up front. Just push the pocket forward. I think there was a small lane back there for Leonard. We'll keep an eye on those cutbacks as well behind Norwell.
So here's the 3rd play of the drive. It's 3rd down and about 2. Bortles in the shotgun with Leonard for the first time tonight. Receivers stacked at the bottom. And Bortles to throw with time in the pocket. Turns and delivers a strike. And this one is tipped and intercepted. That one was an easy pick out of the air for Keanu Neal, the safety who just watched it right into his hands.
Yeah, Brian, the Falcons, they were in man coverage on that defense right there. They did a pretty solid job on the tip pass.
And it was tipped by a linebacker. 3-0. The Falcons lead it. They've got it when we return on the Jaguars television. There's the Hart Bridge on a beautiful night in North Florida. Not so beautiful for the quarterback right now. The interception, which was caused when Robert Alford, the corner, stuck his hand up and tipped the ball intended for Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And Neal, the safety, says thank you very much.
Yeah, it was just a good play. That was a good play by the defense right there, Brian, considering it was on front side this week. Last week it was the backside safety that had come down that tipped the ball to cause the interception.
So here's Matt Ryan, whose first drive was 9 plays and ended with a field goal. Back to throw. Looking right now, coming back left, going for the whole thing. And this one is incomplete. It fell outside, and the receiver, Reggie Davis, was expecting it to come inside.
Yeah, he had a step on Patman right there on the deep ball. The Jaguars are down there with 8 guys in the box on 1st down, assuming run.
You know, the Falcons with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, now Calvin Ridley, despite the fact that they have this aerial attitude, boy, with Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman, they can line up and smash it with the best of them. Here's 2nd down and 10 at the Jags' 42-yard line, and Ryan backs away from center. Here's the handoff. Coleman trying to get wide. Jaguars in pursuit with Miles Jack, and they smell this one out. Making the stop here on the sideline was DJ Hayden, the nickelback. A gain of just 1. Coleman may be able to run against a lot of defenses, Fred, but he ain't going to run against this defense.
This defense is so fast right here. You see Miles Jack beating the play, getting off the blocker, and just stretching the running back out to the sideline. That's exactly where you want the running back to go.
These guys have uncanny lateral speed. You're not going to turn the corner on them.
You will not turn the corner on this defense.
Davis, Sanu, and the rookie Ridley at the top of your screen. Cooper, the tight end, is at the bottom. 3rd down. Ryan takes the snap. Here comes the pressure. He's going to get hit and sacked. He threw the ball away at the last minute.
You got to get on it.
And they're picking it up.
You want to get on it.
They're going to say he was down in the arms of Yannick Ngakoue.
Hey, you got to get on that ball. Let the refs figure it out later.
By the way, that's 2 sacks now and great pressure on 3rd down. And the Jaguars defense stands up again.
Yeah, the Jaguars sent 2 on the blitz right there. Miles Jack and Hayden right there off the corner.
Hayden got him.
Amazing job of getting to Ryan.
Hayden got him, and Yannick was there to help finish him off. But you love the fact that this defense, Fred, when they're challenged with the turnover, just like they were last week in Minnesota, they do it again.
Yeah, this defense, they have a right to be confident. You know, they return every starter other than Posluxny, and they're doing a great job of working with each other, within each other.
Matt Bosher with a high end-over-end kick. D.D. Westbrook gets underneath at about the 6-yard line. 3-0. Falcons lead with 7:15 to play in the 1st quarter on the Jaguars television network.
3-0 Atlanta with the early lead here in preseason game number 3. You're getting a look at Austin Seferian-Jenkins, big signing at the tight end position for the Jaguars this offseason. And we talked to Austin Seferian-Jenkins this week. He is so excited to be in this offense. He spent a lot of time in the meeting room with the quarterbacks, especially Blake Bortles, trying to work on that rapport. And he loves being able to not only receive the ball, but also block for a guy like Leonard Fournette, guys.
Brent, he told us last night he loves understanding the offense from a quarterback's perspective. It gives him more when he puts his hand on the ground. Here's play action. Bortles back to throw. Looking over the middle, and it's caught by Marquise Lee. Out across the 25-yard line. And did he fumble it? There's a flag down as Seferian-Jenkins chases whoever might have appeared with the ball. And Marquise is injured and laying at the 28-yard line. It looks like Damontae Kazee recovered a fumble.
You got to expect, you got to at least think here, Brian, the refs are going to call maybe the helmet call, the new helmet rule here. That was very low contact. Let's just hope Marquise is able to get up.
Bill Vinovich, our official this evening. Let's take a look at it, Fred.
Yeah, here you have play action here. Good sell by Fournette. Just great accuracy and poise by Blake to make an amazing throw between 3 defenders.
Did you see his knee?
Yeah, low shot right there on the knee. Doesn't look good at all.
Watch the knee.
Helmet there.
Defense number 27, lowering his head to initiate contact. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Jacksonville keeps the ball. First down.
Fans who are watching at home just saw that shot of his knee, which bent at an angle that has his teammates concerned. Marquise signed a brand new deal this year, about $9 million. He had earned that as a former second-round pick who had been through the effort, through the battle to make the roster and to find his spot, through the soft tissue injuries. Watch the hit again, and you'll see his left knee. Head coach Doug Marrone is off the sidelines. The medical training staff is there. Let's take a break. We'll come back with an update on Marquise Lee after this. There's Marquise Lee on the cart. He took a shot to his left knee that buckled the knee. Marquise talking right now with Keenan McCardell and his teammates. He's going to have a scan, but that was an ugly injury. You can see as he got on the cart, not only did the Jaguars come over to help their injured teammate, but the Falcons did as well, including Damontae Kazee, who was the one who came low. And the penalty on top of the game puts the ball at the 42-yard line. He lowered his head to initiate contact, and it was so low for him. So low. Here's the handoff, and look at Leonard Fournette with a head of steam. Out of bounds at the 49-yard line, about a half a yard shy of the first down. Again, Kazee making the stop from behind on the big 230-pound Leonard Fournette.
A really good job up front by the offensive line. Really well-designed play right there, Brian. And for Leonard Fournette to be able to run, you know, I like to see him attack that first down marker and get the first down.
Dante Moncrief in the ball game now. He also signed a $9 million deal on a one-year contract. He's at the bottom of your screen as Bortles steps to the line of scrimmage, calling out the protections. Second and 1 to the 49-yard line, and there's the handoff. And look at the nifty move in traffic, changing his direction via his hips, picking up the first down to the 46-yard line before Brooks Reed makes the stop.
Smart play there by Leonard, recognizing the bounding distance being second and short. Just an inside power play. He recognized the safety coming off the edge. Just want to get his nose up in there and just continue to be tough. So solid running by Fournette early.
You like his instincts, don't you?
I love his instincts, Brian. He has very solid vision. I think he's going to have his best year as a pro this year.
Two backs this time. Tommy Bohannon checks into the ball game as the blocking fullback. Handoff on first down. Leonard looking for room in traffic, manages to scrape out a couple of yards as the Falcons send white shirts in his direction from every angle. And pardon me, that's TJ Yeldon who's checked into the ball game.
Nice run play where the Jaguars are pulling the offensive lineman here. Fullback, good patience right there by Yeldon and vision to be able to go in the middle and churn out 4 tough yards.
The coach told us last night, don't be surprised if he pulls some guys, if he gets nervous about injury. Do you suppose maybe the injury to Marquise Lee will have him pull some guys out?
Brian, he'll be extremely close to it. It's unfortunate that it happens, and the safety was in a tough position. And it's tough on the coaches at this point in the preseason. You want to see the guys.
There's a quick toss out to D.D. Westbrook with blockers in front. He took a big shot. And again, that's Casey, pardon me, who hit D.D. at about the 39-yard line to set up 3rd and short.
Just a quick pass right there by Bortles to Westbrook. Hammered by KZ. He's a kid who's came to play today, Brian.
Okay, well, Doug is not getting nervous at this point because he just sent Fournette back in on 3rd down and 2. 3-0 Falcons lead, under 5 to play first quarter here on a summer Saturday night in North Florida. There's the shotgun snap, pressure coming. The toss out, Fournette's got it. And he's got 1st down yardage and more, running out of bounds inside the 34-yard line. Give him the 33. Duke Riley escorts him out of bounds on the Jaguars sideline.
Brian, a week ago, Coach Marrone said this is what he wanted to see more from Leonard Fournette, being able to go in there on 3rd down, show that he can pick up the blitz, and also show that he can have soft hands like that, catch the ball out of the backfield.
Nice drive by the Jaguars, began on their own 6-yard line.
3 receivers,
7th play.
1 tight end.
Bortles with a long look, corner backing off. Play clock rolling down, 2 seconds. Gets it off, it's a high snap, and he hands it off, and Fournette running left, looking to cut it back, spins out of a defender's arms, and has yardage to the 29-yard line.
That was really good poise by Fournette there on the high snap, able to secure the handoff and pretty much make something out of nothing. He was hitting the backfield.
Vic Beasley, who 2 years ago had 15.5 sacks to lead the NFL, made the stop. 2nd and 6, Bortles at the 29-yard line. Play action this time. Pocket collapsing. Launches the ball in the direction of Moncrief. And KZ, the safety, got over to break it up. Let's check in on the sidelines with Brent Martineau for an injury update. Brent.
He is out for this game because of a knee injury, obviously. And, you know, interesting, we talked to Marquise this week. He has developed into a leader for this wide receivers room. So this could be a big loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars as we stay posted the rest of the preseason. And as Fred knows, those receivers are important in the running game. Marquise Lee might be the most underrated part of his game.
All right, we'll wait on further word, but you saw it like we did, folks. It did not look good. TJ Yeldon in place now on 3rd down. And call it 6. Line of scrimmage, the 29 of the Falcons. Bortles looking at pressure, steps up to avoid. Now turns and gets rid of the ball, and it was nearly intercepted. I mean, he just slung the ball out in the direction of TJ Yeldon, and once again, KZ was there. Yeldon broke it up. And the Jaguars will try to even the score here with a Josh Lambo field goal of about 51 yards.
Yeah, Brian, the Falcons did a pretty good job of their zone blitz with a 3-down lineman, rush 2. And here I like to see Blake just show a little bit more poise right there, Brian. Realizing you don't need to force the ball. You want to give Lambo and the special team and the field goal unit an opportunity to make 3 right here.
Here's a 47-yard field goal attempt. The snap, the placement, the kick from Lambo up on the way, and he hit the left upright. It's no good, and the Falcons take over. 3-0 Atlanta continues to lead here with 3:07 to play in the first quarter, and a drive that, quite frankly, had a big hit to it when Marquise Lee had to be carted off. Got back on track, got down the field, and Lambo just hit the upright.
It's a rare miss by Lambo there. The offense, Brian, I think they did a really good job of, you know, regaining their focus after the big hit to Marquise and losing one of their starters. Driving the ball down, and I'm pretty sure they want to execute there.
Taven Bryan is on the field for his first action as a Jaguar. He lines up outside Marcel Darius near the top of your screen. 1 back, 3 receivers. Matt Ryan hands it off, and wow, teal shirts everywhere. Avery Jones screamed into the backfield and dropped him for a loss of a yard.
Brian, the rookie looked pretty impressive on that particular play right there. He was able to stand up the offensive tackle. He's just on the outside against number 70 right there. He didn't get in the play, but he did his job. And what you want to do is make sure you contain outside so the ball carrier doesn't have any room to go out there.
Second down and nearly 12 as the ball is just across the 35-yard line. The tight end Paulson at the top of your screen in motion. Ryan surveys that defense with a single high safety and hands the ball off, and Coleman looking for some cutback room. And there is just a few yards, and let's check in with Ashlyn Sullivan on the Jaguars sideline. Ashlyn?
Thanks, guys. As you just said, this is our first look at first-round draft pick Taven Bryan game action-wise. He missed the first 2 preseason games with an injury. He's impressed a ton of people on the practice field, however, and has gotten really high praise from leader Calais Campbell.
This is where the Jaguars want to get better in situational football, getting off the field on third down and getting the ball back to their offense.
Falcons have had sacks the last 2 third downs. Jaguars bringing pressure, but Ryan tries to avoid and get out of the way, and he does manage to get away from the sack, but was stopped by Telvin Smith a couple yards shy of the first, and the Falcons will punt.
Brian, his defense is so fast. They're up the field, forcing Ryan out of the pocket. But again, they're fast enough to be able to retrace and run him down.
Falcons' first 3 offensive pass plays, 37 yards. The last 4, they are 0-3.
That's a combination of the coaching staff.
0-3 and 2 sacks in the last 5 plays.
Realizing those tendencies and defense responding.
Edie Westbrook is going to let this one bounce, and it takes an Atlanta bounce, and they'll down it inside the 5-yard line. Good decision. You don't want the guy to catch the ball back that deep. A 55-yard punt from Matt Bosher, who has done it before.
You know, Brian, I think right there, Coach DeCamillis, in the punt before this, he caught the ball inside the 10-yard line. And I'm pretty sure the coaching staff on the sideline said, hey, if it's inside the 10, let it go.
Right.
And this is what we were able to see right here. Well played by the Falcons.
Jaguars have started 2 drives now, or this will be the second drive that they start inside their own 10-yard line.
Brian, I always welcome these opportunities, being backed up. I always wanted to take a run 98, 99 yards.
You're one of the few guys that could.
So I always welcome this opportunity.
Leonard has done it as the Falcons jump offside from the 2-yard line.
And again, being backed up. And the defensive guy should know this.
Encroachment. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
The quarterback's job is the hard count. You want a hard count on third down. You want a hard count when you're backed up to your backs to the goal line. Just a well-executed job by the offense.
Deidrin Senat, 3rd-round draft choice from South Florida, jumped into the neutral zone, and so the Jaguars face 1st and 5 from their 7, which is
with a little breathing room.
Markedly different. You're right. Fournette in the ball game. Tight ends and 1 receiver, and here's the handoff to Leonard. Can he go 90 yards? Falcons say no, and they stop him at the 9-yard line. Duke Riley makes the stop on his buddy from LSU. They spent the summer working at each other's camps. Preseason.
You find most guys doing that now. You know, you want to be able to get there and compete with guys that you're familiar with.
You bet.
Because these guys, you can depend that they're going to make sure you're not cheating them.
There's a lot of LSU Tigers around here.
There are good players out of LSU.
Florida Gators, Alabama, lots of Southeastern Conference guys.
You know how I feel about my Gators, Brian.
DJ Chark checks into the ball game. Speaking of Tigers, I do know how you feel about your Gators. Back to throw. Here's a toss, and it is caught. Tommy Bohannon across the 10. He's got the first down to about the 16. It looked like a moment it was going to slip out of his hands, but he reached down and grabbed it and was run out of bounds by Isaiah Oliver, the rookie from Colorado. Give him the 18-yard line.
Yeah, the Falcons show blitz right there from the outside. That's a good quick toss by Bortles to Bohannon.
Watch him pull the ball in. That was a nice job.
Just good concentration by Bohannon right there, and wait for the big man to drop his shoulder to try and protect himself.
3-0 Falcons lead as we come to the end of the first quarter at TIAA Bank Stadium, and we're back after this on the Jaguars Television Network. The Falcons lead the Jaguars here as we get set to begin the second quarter at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Time now for the VyStar Credit Union out-of-town scoreboard. You can see some of the games from earlier in the week. real nail-biter there with the Rams in just a 1-point victory. And you can see in the division, Colts beat the Niners, Titans fall. Other games, either starting or Sunday, Cincinnati and Buffalo, and Arizona and Dallas, a Sunday night primetime game. VyStar Credit Union proudly serving our members since 1952. Visit VyStarCU.org. Tommy Bohannon with sure hands, sticky hands. It almost looked like he had stick him catching the ball there at the end. And he got the Jaguars a first down to the 18-yard line. Yeah,
that's rare for a big fullback, a guy who just wants to come and, just block.
Remember, he caught that touchdown pass in Pittsburgh in the late in the ball game there in that playoff game. All of a sudden now he wants to do his best.
He's shown that he can do it.
Receiving.
And the coaches, they trust him out of the backfield.
Fournette in the ball game. Chark in motion. And Bortles throws it in the direction of Chark, and it's broken up. Incomplete. It'll be second down. There is, however, a flag down on the sideline. See what the call is.
Offside. Defense number 34. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
So just like this drive began with a 5-yard penalty, Jaguars will face 1st and 5 at their own 23-yard line. And Chark lines up at the bottom of the screen. And Moncrief is at the top with Keelan Cole. The first down, Bortles drops to throw with time in the pocket, slings the pass, and it is through the hands of DJ Chark, who had to reach behind him to get it, but with arms that long, you think he would.
Brian, that was a really good route here by the rookie. Nice inside release and stem, stop. Just a poorly thrown ball. Could have been a little bit tighter on him from Bortles, but definitely a good route by the rookie. I'm pretty sure Blake hates that they didn't connect there.
Second down and 5. 2 tight ends in the ball game. Now Niles Paul splits out wide at the top of your screen. Austin Seferian-Jenkins lines up on the left side. Yeldon in the backfield on 2nd and 5. Bortles looking, and he's got Moncrief, and Moncrief's got room to run, turns on the speed, he's across midfield. Moncrief with the move to the outside, spins out of the defender's arms, and is out of bounds at the 40 of Indianapolis. Dante Moncrief finally run out of bounds by Robert Alford, but not before he gains 37 big yards.
Again, the Jaguars, just simple slant route there to Moncrief. Nice throw by Bortles, and the rest is up to Moncrief. He's a guy who's been known for big playability out of Indy. And the free agent signing here in Jacksonville.
Fred, and if that injury is as severe as it looked for Marquise Lee, they're going to need that.
Yeah, you have a veteran guy in Moncrief. Again, he's a guy who has deep playability.
2 backs in the backfield. Corey Grant checks in with Leonard Fournette. Now Fournette in motion. Here's the handoff of Corey Grant with speed. He's got room to run. Look at him go. He's at the 25 and running inside the 20. You can't defend them both, and Corey Grant takes it to the 19-yard line for a 21-yard pickup, and Duke Riley makes the stop.
I think it was set up very nicely. They faked the ball to Leonard Fournette, and good vision by Corey there. Be able to cut it back right up there in the middle. You know, Corey's a special. He's a special player, Brian. He's a player I like to see get more opportunities out there. A guy who's speedy and can take it the distance.
Tight ends to either side, receivers outside the numbers to either side. 1st and 10. Ball at the 21-yard line. There's Fournette looking for room. Stutter steps, now cuts it back. Looks for a break, and he's got one, and he's on the run with a head of steam. He's going to the end zone. Leonard Fournette from 21 yards out, and the Jaguars have their first lead.
Well executed by the entire offense, starting with the offensive line, Brian. They did an amazing job up front of just stretching that play outside. Here you have a stretch play outside. The offensive linemen are pulling. Leonard realized there was nothing out there right there with the big guys. So he cut it back. Just being able to break some arm tackles and get behind his big guys. There's Austin Seferian leading them in. Nicely done. Great vision by Leonard. Well done across the board.
ASJ told you last night, he looked at you and said, I wanted to play with Leonard Fournette.
This is true, Brian. You know, and there's nothing more exciting than having a tight end who wants to block first. You know, he's a guy who came in here. He's a 4.5 40, a 37-inch vertical guy, but he wants to block first.
The extra point caps off a 6-play drive that finished with a 21-yard Leonard Fournette touchdown. 7-3, the Jaguars lead it on the Jaguars television network. 7-3, the Jaguars lead it. Leonard Fournette with 6 carries, 43 yards, and this 21-yard touchdown, Fred.
Guys, can you freeze it right here? It starts with Austin Seferian-Jenkins right here on the inside. A good play by Fournette. Fournette just very patient right here. He's shown that he's a guy who has good vision, strength, being able to break tackles and finish in the end zone.
Calvin Ridley fields this kickoff, backpedaling in the end zone. And the Falcons will take over at their own 25-yard line. How about this? The Falcons' opening drive was a 9-play drive. They pushed 46 yards up the field, settled for the field goal, and a 3-0 lead. Since then, 3 and out, 3 and out. The Jaguars defense on one of those, by the way, was a quick change after the interception on Blake Bortles. Turned around and held them with no points. A sack on 3rd down. Jaguars defense has answered this evening. And here we go with Falcons and Matt Ryan at his own 25-yard line. Tyler Patman starting in place of A.J. Boye this evening at one corner. Boye was just not feeling that great this week. Play action rolling out. Ryan looking down the field under some pressure from Calais Campbell. Stutter steps to get outside, giving chase, and he runs out of bounds for no gain with Miles Jack bearing down on him. The Jaguars just attack you from all angles on defense.
And it starts with the coverage. It starts with having veteran secondary. The receivers, there's nowhere to go. Everybody's covered. Great job by the defense on the back end, and the guys up front with their pursuit to force Ryan out of bounds.
That's the 3rd sack of the night as they put him out of bounds at the 24-yard line. A loss of a yard. 3 sacks. Tevin Coleman, the lone setback now. Hooper, the tight end, slides in motion. On 2nd and 11, here's Coleman. Play action, sets up the screen to Hooper. Hooper dropped the ball. He caught it, and they're going to say incomplete. He had it and dropped it, didn't make a football move, and so they will say incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and long. Falcons have yet to convert a 3rd down in this ball game.
Yeah, the Falcons attempted to run a tight end screen right here, realizing the Jaguars' team speed and the Jaguars are getting upfield so fast. But again, they have to execute it. I don't think they would have gotten much out of that because Ngakoue, he's a man on a mission, Brian.
Falcons 0-3 on 3rd down. Sanu in motion.
Man coverage.
Ryan in the shotgun facing the crowd here. Jaguars filling the gaps up front. They back off on the blitz. Here comes Ngakoue. Sets up the screen and it goes through Tevin Coleman's hands because Yannick Ngakoue was bearing down on Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan and Yannick Ngakoue are barking at each other right now.
The Jaguars, they showed blitz and got out of it. The Falcons again called screen here. They wanted to take advantage of the Jaguars' speed upfield. The Jaguars are just too fast. They're just too fast, Brian.
And Ngakoue was saying just that to Matt Ryan. And Matt said, yeah, you guys might be, but you better go to your side. That's what Bill Vinovich said as he escorted the intense Yannick Ngakoue. Jadon Mickens is back at the Jaguars' 25-yard line waiting for this punt. And he will step up underneath this one after a fair catch at the 23-yard line. 7-3. Jaguars lead with 12:34 to play in the first half on the Jaguars television network. 1. Jaguars have 8 in that time frame. 1st and 10. TJ Yeldon, the lone setback. And it's play action and rolling right. Bortles fires it. Yeldon's got room up the field. He's got a 1st down and more out of bounds at the 35 and an 11-yard pickup. Shoved out of bounds by the linebacker who was trailing the play, Devondre Campbell.
That was a nicely executed play right there by the offense. Here you have just a simple free release by Yeldon on the fake there. And the job for Bortles, just get the ball out of his hand quickly. And this is a drive starter. You want to be able to try and get 4 to 5 yards on 1st down here in the drive starter. Give yourself some room.
Moncrief, Westbrook, Yeldon, Cole out in the pattern. Bortles turns and fires it. Yeldon got it quickly at the 40-yard line. Almost looked like he wasn't expecting it that suddenly and is dropped for a 5-yard pickup. Stopped by Riley, the linebacker.
In this league, Brian, versatility equals value. As you can see when the Jaguars spread out there to 5 wides, having Yeldon be able to come under drag route like a receiver and show that he has extremely soft hands.
After the interception, Bortles now has 7 completions on the night to 6 different receivers. So he's spreading the wealth around, and Leonard Fournette checks in on 2nd and 5. Line of scrimmage, the 40-yard line. Bohannon, the fullback, in front of him.
High formation, Falcons with 8 in the box. I'm wondering if the Jaguars are going to run it here.
Tight end who's right, that's Safarian Jenkins, and Jenkins moves. Check that. That was Jeremy Parnell that moved. Jenkins was at the top of the
False start. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So you give up the gain to Yeldon, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Actually, Brian, both tackles moved. They're trying to get there to their double team block. As an offensive coordinator, it's much easier to call on 2nd and 5 than it is 2nd and 10.
However, when you have this combination, as Corey Grant checks in with Leonard Fournette, it's pretty good. The last time they did it, it was a 21-yard pickup, and this time he runs right. He's right up the middle. He's across the 40 to the 41-yard line for a gain of 6. Jack Crawford
here,
makes
I want
the
to
stop.
take a look at the offensive line here on the front right here. This is a good job by the line. Good job by Cam Robinson on the backside to allow Corey Grant to be able to churn out 5-6 yards right there. With his cutoff block on the backside. Just a nice job by the O-line up front, Brian.
Jags 1 of 3 on 3rd down in the ball game. Grant, by the way, 2 carries for 27 yards.
Explosive.
Fournette in the ball game with 3 receivers, needing 4. Bortles under a bit of pressure, turns and throws it. Fournette's got it with room to run, and he's down near midfield, almost escaping Riley, the linebacker. If he did, it's touchdown number 2. Instead, Riley puts him down at midfield, and the Jaguars have a 1st down.
That's what you're going to get out of Blake Bortles. He's a big man who can just sit in the pocket, show extreme poise. And here, look at the touch. The touch and the accuracy to his running back out of the backfield. Fournette showing he has soft hands as well as Yeldon. Nice throw and catch by
Line
the
of scrimmage, the 49-yard line. Fred, 2 backs, 2 receivers.
He's deep. I'm expecting run play.
Here's the handoff to Fournette, looking for a hole over the right side, following Jeremy Parnell. And this time, the Falcons were waiting at midfield. It's a gain of just a yard as Foye Okulon makes the stop.
Yeah, here's Leonard with a nice jab misstep. Good downhill run and delivering a blow. Just not enough to get away from the linebacker.
Jaguars on 2nd and 9 are going to go with TJ Yeldon and Corey Grant in the backfield. 3rd time they've gone 2 backs. 1st time with this combination. Leonard's out 7 carries, 50 yards, and the touchdown at this point.
This is a personnel set, Brian, that gives them a lot of flexibility, a lot of options. Here I'm thinking they've shown fake and handed it off to Corey twice.
Play action.
Yep.
Bortles is going to get hit. They got him. Olokwun came on the blitz. Got him at the 45 to set up 3rd down and long, Fred.
Yeah, Brian, here they went play action fake there to the running back. I think they have to do a better job up front at the left guard position to allow Bortles an opportunity to get the ball off.
3rd down, 14.
Nicely played by the Falcons.
Three receivers at the top of the screen. Yeldon in the backfield. Good protection. Bortles steps to avoid. He trips and falls down. It looked like he tripped on Jeremy Parnell. And the Jaguars will punt.
Here you have the Falcons. They drop back to a zone coverage right there in their defensive line up front. They're running stunts. Blake just tripped on his offensive tackle's leg right there. Not a good series, not a good possession for the Jaguars.
And so we'll see Logan Cook, the rookie, who has had a very nice start to the preseason, kick to Justin Hardy.
Here's an opportunity for a change field position and pin him back deep. Give the defense some room to work with.
Not a great punt. It does bounce at the 26 and scoots out of bounds, but he didn't look like he hit that one right. 7-3 Jags lead it. 7:42 to play, first half, and we're back after this.
Welcome back to TIAA Bank Field, where the Jags are ahead of the Falcons 7-3. Like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this is the first chance we're going to see first-round draft pick Taven Bryan in game action. He's fit in so well with this defensive line, especially with these defenders. He's even gotten high praise from leader Calais Campbell.
He's the best rookie I've had, in my career, which is it's a big statement, Some guys might get upset about that, but He really has done everything that we've asked of him. You know, he's did it with a smile on his face, and he's just a good guy to be around.
Now that is a big statement from a veteran defensive lineman like Calais Campbell. Even Coach Marone said he's excited to see Taven on the field tonight, guys.
Pressure coming on Matt Ryan, and he throws it back shoulder. Couldn't connect with Sanu, who was covered by Jalen Ramsey. First time. Did they call that a catch? I guess he did pull it in. Out of the 41-yard line for a pickup of 16 yards. Well, we thought that we would see Matt Ryan try to find some room against Jalen Ramsey, and this is the first time that he has.
Yeah, Jalen, he made a few big comments during in the offseason in regards to Ryan. But again, Jalen won't back down. There's a nice throw and catch by Ryan and Sanu.
On the field.
Jalen's going to keep coming.
Or off. Play action to Tevin Coleman. Ryan looking deep down the field, and this one is way over the head of his intended target, Sanu. Tyler Patman was there in tight coverage. No gain. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
This is good secondary back there in the Jaguars. And again, Brian, you know, the offensive coordinators, they read too, you know, and they understand what's going on. And a lot of egos are in the NFL.
No.
And there's going to be an opportunity that they're going to want to take a shot, which is a deep ball to the folks at home on Ramsey's side. I'm pretty sure you can expect that at some point throughout the game.
Ryan on 2nd down and 10 at his own 41-yard line. Calls for the waist-high delivery. Stands in the pocket. Fires a pass. And this one is bobbled and dropped by the rookie, Ridley from Alabama. The first-round draft choice didn't pull it in. That won't make the quarterback very happy. So now they face 3rd down and 10. Falcons trying to get their offense going after the opening drive.
Here's Ridley, one-on-one slant route against Ramsey out there. Nice route by the rookie. He has to bring that in to secure the catch for their offense. Nice route. Jalen, I'm pretty sure he's going to get up there and get a little tighter and make the rookie work for his money.
Matt Ryan has completed just one of his last 7 passes. He's got Coleman with him in the shotgun. Receivers stacked at the bottom of your screen. 3rd down,
there's Ramsey
10.
up there. A little tighter in coverage.
Ryan back to throw, and this one is way over his outstretched receiver's hands. He was looking for Hooper, and there's a late flag.
Actually,
Barry
that was Church.
Was covering him.
That was Church.
And he raised both arms and got the flag.
Pass interference. Defense number 42. Spot foul. Automatic 1st down.
Initially, Brian, I thought that was Ramsey in the coverage, but it was Church. Nice inside release by the tight end. Yeah, that's obvious holding on Barry Church. Good call by the official.
So move the ball to the Jaguars side of the field. And this the strongest offering from Matt Ryan and the Falcons since their opening drive.
Starters are back in.
Line of scrimmage, the 48-yard line. Here's the handoff to Coleman, running right, looking for room, trying to cut it back in. And there's precious few yards. Give him 2 to the 46. Stop made by Telvin Smith.
Telvin was unblocked on that play, Brian. Good Telvin is a nice play up front by Avery Jones to get penetration, allowed Telvin to free up and to slide in for a tackle.
And you see getting up off the ground there, Malik Jackson, who has been everywhere tonight. 2nd down and 8 at the 46 in Jaguars territory. 7-3 Jaguars lead. Clock showing under 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Coleman over the left side with room to run, and he cuts it back, and he's got all kinds of open field inside the 30. Pulled down as he crossed the 25-yard line by Deshaun Gibson, and they'll probably put him down right at the 25-yard line in a 21-yard pickup. He found a hole.
Yeah, that was just a nice double team. Really good play by the Falcons up front. They were able to block the double team and allow Coleman some running room there against the safety blitz by the Jaguars.
So this is the best field position of the night for the Falcons, trying to answer the Jaguars touchdown.
Jaguars were extremely good last year, just outside the red zone.
Here's Ito Smith, and the rookie's looking to change direction, and he puts his shoulder down at the 20-yard line. And they'll give him the 19 for a 5-yard pickup. Telvin Smith corrals him.
The Falcons are doing a good job of double team up front. Just good vision by the back there. Not a whole lot there. Nice tackle by Telvin Smith. The defense wants to just stand up and get a little tougher here now that they're in the red zone. They're pretty good inside the red zone. Let's see what they do here, Brian.
3 receivers. One of them, the tight end Paulson,
off
slides
coverage
in
up
motion.
top. Ramsey
Play action. Rolling out. There's a throw, and Kelvin Smith connects with Hooper, the tight end, at the 15-yard line to set up 3rd and a yard.
Here's right there. There's the tight end on the play action for Ryan. Just a good play by Ryan, dropping back, rolling around, and finding his tight end. I'm pretty sure Teller's a bit upset he didn't get there fast enough to intercept that one.
It's a 3rd and short. One back remains Smith, the rookie. Now he's in motion out of the backfield.
Spread formation by the Falcons. I don't understand 3rd and 1. Why would you motion your running back out?
And there is an incomplete pass in the end zone. Jared Wilson, along with Tyler Patman, on the pass intended for Mohamed Sanu. And it'll bring up a field goal opportunity with 4:10 to play, and a nice, well-timed hit by Jared Wilson, who a week ago was hit with that 15-yard penalty for lowering his helmet in Minneapolis. You can see him right there. He's very conscious of that flag, isn't he?
Yeah, very good play by Wilson after Patman had gotten beat by Sanu on the inside move.
Bryant has a 47-yarder. This is a 33-yard attempt to pull them within 1. The snap, the placement, the kick on the way. It is good. Jaguars defense holds, does not let them score other than a field goal. Let's check in with Brent Martineau for an injury update on the Jaguars sideline. We don't like doing these, Brent.
I know it's some bad news down here, Brian. Marcel Darius was not on the field on that drive because he has a pectoral muscle injury, questionable to return. He does not have his helmet on right now, but he is on the sideline. Deshaun Gibson was not on the field during that last play. That's why Wilson made the play. Gibson came off the field holding his right arm, right shoulder injury, waiting on official word from the Jaguars now.
Yeah, Brian, Coach Marone said if he has to start pulling guys because of too many injuries, he will. You know, looking down there, let's see if he starts to pull his starters out. And you don't want to lose them.
No. You've got to get them ready. And then, look, they're playing without Ronnie Harrison this evening because the rookie from Alabama, who was so impressive last Saturday at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minnesota.
Yeah, injuries are unfortunate, Brian. It is an opportunity for other guys that are being evaluated to get more plays, maybe plays that they weren't going to see. But again, you don't want injuries to happen to any players, nevertheless your starters. DJ
Chark is back to retrieve this one, and he's got it at the 1-yard line. The rookie from LSU, far side, looking for his team. He's across the 20, stumbles, and falls forward near the 25. Stopped by Emmanuel Smith for Atlanta. 1st and 10 Jaguars. 7-6 they lead with 4 minutes to play here in the first half. That last drive for Atlanta, 9 plays, 60 yards. And Bryant connected on his second field goal of the ball game. Tell you what, if he's nervous, Doug Marone's not showing it. Leonard Fournette's still out there.
He trusts those guys, Brian. But again, we got to make sure that these injuries are limited because the regular season, the real deal, is just about 2 weeks away.
Bortles back to throw. Pocket collapsing, steps, turns, throws. Keelan Cole's got it, looking for a block. And he's down at the 28-yard line for a gain of 4. He stopped his feet, waiting to see if he could clear Leonard Fournette's block. He couldn't. And so Duke Riley gets credit for the tackle at the 28.
It was just nice hustle by Fournette out of the backfield. There he is, releasing out of the backfield on the route. Nice step up by Bortles. And look, there's Fournette again, trying to free his receivers and return the favor downfield.
Dante Moncrief lines up at the top of the screen. Jags go 2 backs as they bring Corey Grant on with Fournette. From the 28 on 2nd down and 6. Bortles pump play, now wants to throw. Corey Grant got with room to run. Look at him go at the 40. Waits for a block at the 45. To the sideline at midfield. Still driving inside Atlanta territory. Corey Grant out of bounds near the 46-yard line. And they may even give him more than that. They'll put him at the 44.
Yeah, Brian, that's just a tough personnel pairing and matchup for any defense. Fake the ball to Fournette, come back to Grant here on the screen. And again, this kid can fly. This young man can fly. And he breaks tackle as well.
34 yards on the screen pass. He also has a 21-yard run.
I find myself here cheering for those Auburn Tigers more and more, Brian.
Do you now? I wonder if that has anything to do with the dominance of the Tide these days.
You know, I like Corey's game. He's a young man who shows that he deserves more carries.
And here's Leonard running over the left side, looking for a bit of a cutback, and he picks up a couple. Not a lot of room over there. Give him the 42-yard line, so it's just a short 2-yard gain, and the stop made by the former Houston Texan backer, Brooks Reed.
Again, that was a play, Brian. You were able to see the Jaguars offensive line pull out front. Fournette just showing patience. So he's a big kid who can do it all, Brian. You got to love his game. He's averaging today 5.8 yards a carry on 8 carries, 46 yards and a touchdown. You know, he's shown me some.
We've hit the 2-minute warning. Jaguars up 7-6, looking for more here as we come to the close of the first half, and we'll return after this. Love him. He's one of the really good guys. Malik Jackson, glad to see him getting out and about in the community. 2 minutes to play. Jags up 1. Bortles all kinds of time to throw. Waits patiently, now finds his intended target, and that's the big tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins, coming through to the 28-yard line. First down, Jaguars.
Here you see Seferian-Jenkins with a nice relief against Neal right there. A little bit of a push-off, create some separation. Nice throw and catch from the quarterback to the big tight end.
He's an impressive physical specimen, a guy who loves the game and really loves this team and the opportunity it has for him. Coming off his best season of his young career with the New York Jets and 50 catches last year, the Jags have high expectations for him. 1st and 10. Bortles being pressured now on the run. Fires a pass to D.D. Westbrook. Westbrook makes a little move on the sideline for extra yardage. Give him the 22 and a 6-yard pickup. Neal and Riley make the stop for the Falcons.
Here, just take a look at Blake Bortles right there as he feels the pressure from the outside and he just slides to his left and finds Westbrook. You know, more and more, you know, people criticize Bortles, but he's a guy who's big and he has extreme poise in the pocket, Brian. That just spells good things for this offense.
You bet it does. He's so patient. He waited for Westbrook to clear, as you showed, Fred, and it sets up 2nd down and a very manageable 4 as T.J. Yeldon checks into the backfield. Niles Paul, the tight end, lines up on the bottom of your screen next to Jeremy Parnell. 3 other receivers.
The Falcons are in press coverage across the board.
Look at Yeldon with room up the middle. Makes a move, fires more into the inside of that defense, all the way to the 11 for a 1st down, following Andrew Norwell. Look at that.
Just a solid run right here by Yeldon.
Jaguars in their hurry.
On an inside zone play.
There's the handoff to Yeldon. This time, Grady Jarrett makes sure he doesn't get to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2.
The Falcons say, hey, we just saw this play. You fooled us once.
Shame on me.
Yeah, just a good double. It was originally started out as a pretty good double team block. Cam Robinson has to be a little bit more assertive on this play and not allow that inside move to happen.
Jaguars comfortable with the clock, under 30 seconds. 2nd and long. Bortles under pressure, dumps it off underneath. Yeldon tries to make a move, make a man miss. He does. He's inside the 10. He's on the run and trying to get out of bounds, and he does. At about the 8-yard line, run out of bounds over there by Oliver, the rookie corner. Put him down inside the 7.
It's just a nice throw and catch from the quarterback to Yeldon. Even more impressive, Yeldon showing his athletic ability, being able to make those guys miss and get the ball out of bounds.
Doug Marrone had all 3 times out to use, and he just pulls that one. So clock stops with 15 seconds, 3rd and 5 from the 6-yard line. What do you do here? You run it? Because you do have the ability to stop the clock.
You know, if you're going to plan on trying to attempt on 4th down, Brian, yeah, I would say run it. Otherwise, I'd say, you know, give an opportunity, give yourself a shot in the end zone somewhere.
Well, there's only one back out there. I thought maybe they'd send Corey Grant or Leonard Fournette out. They have done that a lot here in this first half. Bortles is going to throw it. Pumps and settles and throws, and it's broken up. He was trying to get Dante Moncrief coming across the goal line, and the linebacker stepped over and makes the stop. That's Campbell. And so the Jaguars will settle for a field goal with 10 seconds left.
Yeah, not much here on the play. The Falcons had pretty good defense against the offense here. You know, Bortles, again, what you want to do here, Brian, on the front of the goal line, you want to be able to throw the ball low and hard. And that showed the maturation in Bortles, being able to make that throw outside, low and hard to the receiver, and not give the defender's opportunity to intercept it.
The field goal from Lambeau up on the way and good from 24 yards. Before that, incomplete to Moncrief, like you said, low and hard. Bortles had connected on 9 consecutive passes. He's having a good night. The Jaguars obviously are also. They lead 10-6 and have just answered the Falcons' scoring drive with one of their own.
And it doesn't look like much, but anytime you're in a 2-minute situation or a situation going into the half, Brian, what you want to have is points. Whether it's 3 points, 7 points, it doesn't matter. You want to be able to execute, get down the field without throwing interception, without any fumbles, no turnovers, be able to go in the locker room on a positive note, and that's points, 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 points.
Corey Grant had a 34-yard reception on that. So his totals for tonight, 3 touches, 53 yards. That's 17.7 per touch.
And the good thing about that personnel pairing with the 2 backs in the backfield, faking the Leonard, faking the Yeldon, they'll be able to fake it to Corey, run the ball with the other running back. So it's going to give the offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, some options.
He's a clever guy. And he's got plenty of options to work with. Here is a high end-over-end kick that will be fielded, and that's Davis. And Reggie Davis looks for room over the right side. He is originally hit at about the 20. It spins out to about the 27-yard line. Clock will stop with 2 seconds left to play. The Jaguars on their scoring drive, 10 plays, covered 70 yards, took 4 minutes. Lambeau connected. Blake on the drive, 5 of 6 for 59 yards. And again, before that last incompletion, had connected with 9 consecutive passes.
It's a game of rhythm, Brian. Confidence, rhythm, confidence.
Matt Schaub checks in for that one quick snap, and the first half is in the books. Jaguars lead 10-6. We've seen some really good things. We did see that injury to Marquise Lee. The knee buckled, and it did not look good. We know he's out for the rest of the game. Here's Brent Martineau with head coach Doug Marrone. Brent?
Coach, you like the way your team responded. Defense over for Atlanta on 3rd downs, and then offensively interception and then a couple of scoring drives.
Well, I think early on it was good that that we gave the interception up. Our defense was able to get the ball back. They've really been playing well the whole offseason. And then I thought when the offense was backed up, they had a heck of a drive. We have a lot of yards, but at the end of the day, we want to get in this red zone and score touchdowns. Not kick field goals. And I think special team-wise, we didn't get the punt we wanted, but we were working on a couple of things. So there's obviously things we can do better.
Is the plan still to bring those first teamers out in the 3rd quarter?
Yeah, we're going to discuss that right now. Okay,
Thanks,
great.
Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Brent, thanks so much. The Jaguars lead 10-6 here as we head to halftime at TIAA Bank Field. Halftime is next. We're back at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, where the Jaguars lead the Falcons 10-6 as we get set to begin the 3rd quarter, and we are pleased to have the chance to visit with Jaguars owner Shad Khan. First of all, welcome. Nice to see you.
Thanks, Brian. Great to be here.
The thing that stands out first is that this broadcast tonight is being streamed around the world, in the United Kingdom, in Mexico. The broadcast on radio is in Spanish for the first time this year. When you bought the franchise, you talked about diversifying the audience. Clearly, you are doing that now.
Absolutely. It's another way of getting more fans and getting them outside Jacksonville area. So we want to have more fans. This is great.
I think the London effort really speaks for itself because we've seen it grow. Does the Mexico side, is that where the NFL is going to grow next?
All I know about is London. I think
Okay.
we've got Jacksonville, we've got London. I think statistically, the largest number of NFL fans outside U.S. is Mexico.
Okay.
About 27 million hardcore NFL fans. So it's logical.
Yeah, sure makes sense.
You've done some great things with the team since you've taken over ownership. I'm a little bit jealous that I'm not out there playing for you right now. But the uniforms, I want your thoughts on the uniforms.
Well, I mean, they're clean, they're simple, they're great, they're football.
I agree.
Do you have a favorite combination yet? We've only seen the all white and the teal on white. Did you have one coming in?
I like all white. We saw that last week. I thought was awesome. But
Really?
Yeah, well, teal is a fan favorite, and we've done well, obviously, last year. You know, the Seattle game is a good example.
Here's Jadon Mickens with a little fancy footwork trying to get back to the outside, and he's out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. Well, we saw when they unveiled them that there were a lot of different combinations, which gives you all kinds of flexibility. The fans really have seemed to take into them as well. There's a lot of fans wearing the new uniforms and a lot new fans here at the stadium. 12,500 season tickets sold by Chad Johnson, Mark Lamping, and that crew. Your thoughts on the 90% renewal rate?
We want to have a home field advantage. The way you do it is obviously having season ticket holders who are going to, you know, root the team on. We saw that last year. Some of the games, very close, very competitive. Fans put us over the edge. So, team we have, we need their help.
Here's the handoff to Yeldon looking for room, and he puts his shoulder down and charges forward near the 19, maybe the 20-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And the renewal rate, obviously, the new season tickets, I think, caught a lot of people off guard. Just how fast people came to the product and wanted to be a part of what you're doing here.
Absolutely. I think winning helps, but, you know, we need the fans' help also. So it's interesting if you look at some of the media. I think the Jags Philly game is the hottest ticket in NFL.
Oh, it sure is. Yeah, I've had no fewer than 100 people say to me, how do I get a ticket? I said, first buy a plane ticket and get ready for London. But there are a lot of people that are interested in that ball game at Wembley Stadium as they hand off to Yeldon over the right side now, darting through traffic and reaching for the 1st down. And I believe he's got it about the 27-yard line. You mentioned winning and the importance, and obviously we saw that last year. Fred, you and I have talked a lot about this leadership team, and you know it well.
Yeah, there's a lot of leadership, a lot of mental toughness out there, and that's brought forward by Coach Marone and his philosophies and his beliefs, what he believes in. But there's a combination that you've put together yourself, and Coach Tom Coughlin, Coach Doug Marone, and Dave Caldwell. Can you talk a little bit about them?
Yeah, it's the dream team. And, you know, getting football IQ in the stadium, in the locker room, I think that's the key aspect.
And I would agree with you on that, Mr. Khan. The consistency that's here, the coaching staff that's together, the players that's together. I think Dave has done a terrific job of keeping the nucleus of the team there, and it allows for the guys to play fast and be comfortable with one another. And I really think you've done a great job since taking over.
Well, thank you very much.
I think
we're just kind of getting started. So
yeah, you're right.
And the fans love to hear that.
Yeah.
When you see what Tom and Dave and Doug have built here in terms of the roster, the health of the salary cap, it makes sense that this is built to last as Blake throws it to Leonard Fournette out for this first series with a little burst of speed. Exciting to see that big body come back in great shape and pick up the 1st down. You know, there were some, and everyone could question anything, but there were some people that questioned whether the marriage between Tom and Doug and Dave would all work. Did it exceed your expectations, or did you feel that vibe that it was going to work from the beginning?
I felt very confident. It's unconventional. It has not worked in the past, but you know, for me, it was important what's going to work here in Jacksonville. And those 3 are, you know, perfect.
They really have fit together well as the Jaguars have a 1st down out near the 45. Bortles rolling to his right and looking down the field, dumps it out. And there's James O'Shaughnessy picking up big yardage all the way down to the 41-yard line. It's hard to believe, but in 2 weeks, we'll be kicking this thing off in New York City.
Yep. Can't wait.
Quick question on Fulham. I know as I walk around, people have Fulham shirts and hats on here. People were energized by what happened there at Fulham this year. And the Premier League, everything you thought it would be?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. We've supplemented, obviously, the team, and, you know, they've got a gel. So, but I'm very optimistic.
Here's the handoff to Leonard looking for room. And he finds a couple of yards. Hard not to be, but a good sports year for Con Sports and Entertainment, wasn't it? And a big concert coming up here a week from Sunday with Leonard Skinner, and tickets are selling well for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the best is yet to come. The great venue we have, the fans we have, I think you'll be blown away what's yet to come here, especially next year. So I don't want to steal Mark's thunder.
You are now, Brian, you see why.
You want to be playing.
I wish I could have been a part of it. Well, I am a part of it.
You are.
And I'm not there on the field, but I am a part of it.
Your name's on the wall somewhere, Fred. If we bend our neck,
it's just around the corner.
Leonard, and he picks up a couple more yards. And Leonard was not happy about that tackle. can see that he was jawing with some of the defensive linemen. This team has a personality. It has a unique personality. There's Fred.
Oh, yeah.
I think this team tried, and you can see it. It has swagger's not even the right word. It loves the challenge of people. They're going to talk a little bit, and then they're going to come back and they're going to play, and they just love it. They feed off of that.
Swagger is the right word too. I think it's confidence. Make stuff happen.
Bortles, swagger in the pocket, finds Moncrief, who turns the Jets on, stays in bounds, stutter step, and it has yardage inside the 20.
And this is what you want to see, Brian. You want to be able to see your offense, go in the half and come out and be able to make adjustments. They've adjusted to everything that the Falcons have shown them thus far. Looking very sharp in this drive.
And another topic around here, Mr. Khan, is Blake, and he lets things roll off his back. Has the new contract, has really had a good camp. He just seems so comfortable here now in his 5th season.
Yep.
Standing in the pocket. Blake with a stutter step of his own, turns and fires this one, and it's intercepted. And he stepped out of bounds. Interception near the goal line, and the Falcons will take over. Thanks so much for taking some time to come visit with us this evening. I know you've got a lot on your plate this evening. It's going to be a fun season. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
And I know Jaguars fans appreciate hearing from Jaguars owner Shad Khan. 9:27 to play, 3rd quarter, 10-6. Jaguars lead. We're back after this. Gotcha. Oops, okay. 6, Jaguars lead it. Blake Bortles probably done for the evening. Didn't really want to end on this note, Fred.
Here, Brian, I want to spotlight Moncrief right here. Let me get rid of that. So Moncrief is here down low. So he's going to run him off, and this receiver is going to break out that way on the sail route. See what Moncrief has to do here. He shouldn't look back. He drew the defender's eyes back to Blake Bortles' eyes by looking back. His job is to run through that end zone and clear out for the sail route that's coming underneath. Blake would have been able to get the ball there.
Instead, the Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their 3. Matt Schaub, the one-time Houston Texans quarterback, is on now. He's got an I formation behind him. Justin Crawford is the feature back. He'll take the handoff, and the Jaguars are all over it. No gain whatsoever on the play. In fact, I believe Crawford lost a yard.
As a defense, Brian, this is what you live for. You want those offenses backed up. There's only a few plays that they can run from down there.
And watch Andrew Motuapawaka
and
make contact.
Insert Dante Fowler for the first time this preseason. Dante did an outstanding job of leveraging against the defense, against the tight end there on the outside, not allowing the Falcons a chance to get outside.
2nd and 11 inside the 2-yard line.
There's Fowler again, down here, down low. Let's keep an eye on him.
Ridley, the receiver, in motion. Schaub looks right, turns and throws out into the flat. This one is caught for a very short gain, and making the grab in front of Trey Herndon is Russell Gage.
Yeah, I highlighted Fowler there. Good cut block by the tackle on Fowler. Just a quick 3-step drop by the Falcons. Nice throw and catch by them.
Ball goes out near the 8-yard line, bringing up 3rd down and 5. Ridley, the first-round pick, lines up at the top of your screen. Jaguars corners are pressing on all 3 receivers. The tight end goes in motion.
Coverage by the defense.
Steps, turns, and throws. He's got a receiver all by himself at the 15-yard line, and the tight end breaks a tackle. He's on the run. Motuapawaka's got to stop him as he crosses the 40, and the big tight end caught from behind, as you thought he might be, as he crosses midfield, and that's Sauber. And he makes the Jaguars pay, getting to the 48-yard line.
The Jaguars are here. You had some miscommunication right here by the defense, allowing the receiver to get wide open. But good hustle by the Jaguars defense. I'm pretty sure the coach is going to look at this and say, guys, you got to make those tackles and mitigate those big plays.
The tight end goes for 44 yards. And the Falcons are at the 48-yard line of the Jaguars. Saubert, the tight end, in motion. Play action. Schaub looking down the field. It's got Ridley. Ridley goes for the breadbasket catch near the 36-yard line. Turns back up the hash marks and picks up first down yardage, stopped by Cody Davis.
They're here off the play action. The receivers run a nice 5-yard and break. Good route by Ridley, the young receiver out of Alabama. The Falcons are mixing up pretty good right here against a young Jaguars defense, guys looking to make this roster.
Tight end in motion. And his movement from the right side of the Falcons line.
Ball start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Matt Gano from Wesley College moves and backs them up 5 yards. So put it at the 41-yard line with 6:46 to play in the third quarter here. Third quarter's really come at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, that's the effect of running the ball so much in the first half, Brian. As running back, this is the type of game I've always loved.
And here's the draw play. Crawford is met. Motua Pawaka came charging hard right up the gut along with Leon Jacobs. Those two rookies make a stop for a 1-yard loss to the 42-yard line. The Jaguars defense. That third down conversion was the...
Brian, here you have a lot of young guys, but look at Brian right there on the backside. Just cave that wall down. Just create a big traffic jam right there so the running back didn't have anywhere to go. Nice job by the young man out of Florida.
Second down and 16. 4 receivers, 3 to the bottom of your screen, and now Crawford goes to the top of the screen. So an empty backfield set for Shaw. Pressure coming. He's going to turn and fire the ball. He's got a wide open receiver, but he just put it outside the reach of Gage, who leapt and went vertical for it. Pardon me, went horizontal for it. Get my directions correct. Incomplete. Third and long. Third down and 16 now.
Good pressure by Dante Fowler here on the left side of your TV. Good pressure by Fowler, being able to knock down Schaub a little bit. The receiver did a good job of beating the secondary, but the pressure by Fowler allowed for a bad throw by Schaub.
Schaub in his 15th season from Virginia faces third down and 16 with 5:47 to play in the third. Slides Hardy in motion, has Crawford with him, and the play is blown dead as he throws the ball to Jared Wilson instead.
Good reaction by Fowler here on this play, Brian. You know, in the past, they thought Fowler...
Prior to the false start, neutral zone infraction. Defense number 56. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Initially, we thought it was the offense. He was enticed by the offense there. As you can see, this guy moved first. And Dante saw that the guy moved there. That's on the outside.
Neil Smith rule.
Yeah, and it's just one of those gray area calls where the refs, you know, the defender, he's trying his best to play within the rules of the game, and the refs obviously, it's like if you punch me, I punch you, I get caught.
Yeah.
You know that
second
that
guy.
Yeah, the second guy. Unfortunately, bad call.
Saw that the tight end comes into the backfield. Shaw, third down and 11. Pocket collapsing, turns and throws, and this one is dropped. No, it's intercepted off the foot. Cody Davis has got it. Davis stutter steps. Now he's on the run at the 25, following blockers across the 35 and the 40. And he's down near the 45-yard line. That came off someone's foot and ricocheted high into the air. We'll take a look at it when we return to TIAA Bank Field, where the Jaguars lead 10-6 after this. 10-6 remains the score at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Doug Marone's team thought it had an interception. Not so much. Take a look at this. It hits the ground, Fred, and then is kicked. And it looks like it hit the foot of Jalen Myrick, but not before it hit the ground.
Yeah, Brian, such a fast game. At live speed, at real speed, is a pretty tough call for the refs. Thank God for the technology and replays.
You bet. Hard to hide from the tape.
Oh, yeah.
So Marone looks out and sees Jadon Mickens, his punt return man, standing between the hashes at the 10-yard line, waiting on this punt. And it's a high hanging punt. Mickens is used to this. He's got it with a fair catch. just across the 17-yard line. 5:16 left to play in the third quarter. Only a 20-yard punt, but that's exactly what they wanted to do. Matt Bosher is extremely good at that. So we'll get our look at Cody Kessler, who's been pretty impressive. He's one of 9 quarterbacks this preseason with a quarterback efficiency rating above 100. And we saw the first 2 weeks, he was strong.
He wants to show everyone that he could play.
So does this guy, Corey Grant, in the backfield. Orndorff, the tight end. Play action. Kessler back to throw. Looks, turns, and fires for Jadon Mickens, who's got room to run across the 45 and out to the 50-yard line. That's a pickup of 33 yards if they put him down at midfield.
And that's the confidence in the coaching staff that they have in Kessler. Here they insert him in the game. First play. Here you have a play action left to Corey Grant. Kessler steps back. He's able to find Mickens. Nice touch just over the defender's head. Just a well-thrown pass by Kessler. Okay, he's extremely confident in his ability. He wants to let everyone know, hey, I deserve to play as well.
He didn't lose any confidence through an 0-16 season on the bench in Cleveland last year. Kessler fires it to Corey Grant with a little bit of room to maneuver, trying to get to the sideline. Instead, puts his 215-pound frame into the defender and pushes forward inside the 48-yard line. Give him the 47, so it's only a 3-yard gain for Corey Grant.
Very good decision making in there by Kessler, being able to go through his progressions. Good coverage by the Falcons secondary. Kessler getting the ball to his outlet. And that's what you want from your quarterback.
He told us in Minnesota he wanted to play last year when things were going so poorly. And Deshaun Kaiser was struggling in Cleveland. He wanted to get on the field, even with a team that didn't look like it had many chances to win. That's a guy that loves to play. He's under pressure, throws it underneath, catch is made, and Rashad Green is stopped shy of the first down. He's about, looks like they put him down back outside the 42-yard line, so it'll still be third down and some distance for him to get there. You just saw Green. We've seen Mickens. We've seen Westbrook. Those 3 guys are locked in a battle. It would seem that only 2 of them are going to make the roster. All of them have to be contributors on special teams, as well as showing their ability to play in the offense. Mickens at the top of your screen. And there's movement. Shane Wynn flinched at the bottom, and he's got to get it.
Offense number 14.
Yep, that's Shane.
5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Yeah, Brian, you were just mentioning the battle between Wynn, Mickens, Green. You know, those type plays, those plays are a no-no. There he is with the false start, and you can't have those. Coach Marone, he wants a mentally tough, disciplined ball team. And if you're on the bubble, those are the type of mistakes you cannot make.
So Kessler's in the shotgun on 3rd down and 8. Clock running here in the third quarter. He'll take the waist-high delivery and step up into the pocket. Now he's going to go and run. And he's got room, and he's going to pick up first down yardage and a little bit more. All the way to the 36-yard line, showing us his balance.
I thought that was very good judgment called by Kessler here. Here you have him step back in the pocket. Not much there. He recognizes the coverage. He said, hey, let me run with the ball. I can show you I can run with this ball too. He did not slide. He has to be careful there as a quarterback.
Green, Wynn, and Mickens are the receivers here on 1st and 10 at the Falcons' 36-yard line. Corey Grant in the backfield. Kessler stands, dumps it off underneath. Grant's got it, tries to sidestep a defender, and then can't quite get away. They put him at the 32-yard line, so it's a pickup of 4 on 1st down.
Kessler understands you want to be positive. You want everything to be positive on the offensive side of the ball. You can tolerate a 1-yard gain. What you cannot tolerate is a 1-yard loss. Those are a no-no in the NFL, Brian. And I think as long as he continues to make these good decisions, get the ball to his outlet backs, receivers, check downs, whatever it may be, just get the ball in positive movement.
You know, Fred, early on he looked good on the practice field, and then he hit a couple of rough patches. But since he took the field in the preseason against the Saints, he has been very good.
It's all about growth.
2nd and 6, pocket collapsing. He's hit, and he tries to get away, but he can't. And he goes down back at the 39-yard line for a loss of 7. And it means 3rd down and a mile.
Yeah, just a pretty good play by the Falcons defense right there. Tony Adams, the center. You know, but even more impressive is the play that Kessler didn't make. You know, he didn't force the ball away right there when nothing was there.
Justin Zimmer got him back at the 39-yard line.
Is this the first time we're seeing Wiles tonight, Brian?
He's been out there on this drive, but we haven't seen him touch it yet. Kessler sets up the screen, and he's got it now. And Wiles has got room to run. Look at him go with the head. His team has got a first down, more on the run at the 20 and the 15. There he goes inside the 10. And Wiles reaches for the 7 and sets up first and goal. Nice call, Fred. You saw it coming.
I saw something, Brian. What happened was, here you have the Falcons showing blitz. Nice fake blitz pickup right there by Wiles. Great read of the offensive line. Nice, tough, hard running downfield by Wiles.
Spotted at the 8-yard line after a 30-yard pickup. First and goal for Kessler, who sets Green and Wynn to the left side of the formation, the top of your screen, and has Corey Grant in the backfield with him. Sets it to Corey. Corey's got it. Makes a move inside the 5 and reaches for the 2. We'll see where they put him down. Looks like they're going to put him back by the 4.
Just a nice play call by the Jaguars. They just want to test the Falcons' leverage. Good quick release by Kessler out to Grant. Nice positive gain.
Good spot on that ball, too. His foot was out of bounds at the 4. They're going to let the clock run down here to end the third quarter with the Jaguars still on top 10-6 and in scoring position with a lot of their second team guys out there fighting for roster spots. It's what you expect in preseason game number 3, and it's exactly what Doug Marone's football team is providing this evening on a gorgeous evening. The temperature's right, the breeze, everything going their way this evening here at TIAA Bank Field. And we're back with the start of the fourth quarter in just a moment. (10-6) Jaguars on top here as we get set to begin the fourth quarter of the third preseason game. Jaguars have Cody Kessler and Corey Grant and Brandon Wiles and a host of guys who are fighting for maybe the 8th or 9th offensive line spot or the 5th wide receiver spot. This is what this game is all about. Guys trying to hang on to that NFL dream.
Most definitely, Brian. These guys are out here, feeling that they have the talent to play in the NFL. And what I love to see the most is that they come from the sideline, Brian. They're cold. Hadn't played the entire first half. To be able to insert themselves into the game at this point and go out there and play as well as they're playing, moving the ball as well as they move the ball.
I tell you, Cody Kessler might argue with you. He's hot, 6 of 6 for 79 yards. Here's the 9th play of this drive that he has orchestrated from his own 17-yard line. He's got Corey Grant with him on 2nd and goal from the 4.
He's tight. He's tight.
There's the handoff. Grant starts left, stutter step, stops, come back up middle, and he's down just shy of the 2-yard line to set up 3rd and goal. Corey Grant, compared to Leonard Fournette, you might say he's small. He's not. 5'11", 205, and that guy's built now. He is powerful.
He's stocky. He's powerful. He's even more powerful with the speed that he delivers to the defender, Brian. And that's what I love most about him. He's a guy who's made some plays. A year ago, he made a lot of big plays, and I think he deserves some reps.
He's out there now. 3 receivers on 3rd and goal from the 2. Kessler looking left and right.
I think it's the same play.
Hands it off. Corey following his blockers who shove forward, but stopped shy of the goal line. Grant 7 touches. That's his 8th, 67 yards, and it brings up 4th down. A goal last week in Minnesota. First play of the second quarter, they went for it.
Yeah, I think it's 100% go for it right here, Brian. You're on the 1-yard line. You have a great defense, a defense that you're extremely confident in. And that forces the Falcons, if there is a stop, the Falcons have to show you that they can take it 99 yards against your defense.
So a 242-pound hammer, Tim Cook, is in there behind Tommy Bohannon with tight end Scott Orndorff and DeAndre Goolsby.
There's a soft spot right there.
Oh, he dropped the ball. Kessler dropped the ball. He got back up and pushed forward, and Kessler took it in for the score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. He dropped it, and he wouldn't be denied, Fred.
It ain't pretty, Brian. That's a product of hustle and hard work. Here's a quarterback who understood that there was a miscommunication in the snap right there, but somehow he was able to regain possession of the ball and grind forward and score a touchdown for his team.
He got lost. The Falcons couldn't tell whether he had the ball or not. Look at him just push forward with help from Tim Cook.
You think they got that in the playbook, Brian, the old fumble rooski?
You know, I kind of like that, Fred. Haven't seen that in a long time. I appreciate you pulling that out. I was old enough to have watched Dean Steinkooler run it for Nebraska against Miami all those years ago in the Orange Bowl. In the Orange Bowl, not the game played at the Dolphin Stadium, the Orange Bowl.
We're going to have to grab Coach Hackett at the end of the game. And
with him, I wouldn't put anything past him. Nothing past Nate Hackett. Here's the extra point try to give the Jaguars an 11-point advantage. Snap, the placement, the kick up on the way. It is good. An 11-play, 83-yard drive ends with Cody Kessler improvising. 17-6 Jags lead, and we're back on the Jaguars Television Network.
Welcome back to Jacksonville. This season, the Jaguars are going mobile. Here to tell us more about that is Senior Vice President of Sales and Services, Chad Johnson. Chad, why the change to mobile?
Well, we've got a great crowd tonight. We know there's a tremendous amount of excitement around this team, and that means TIAA Bank Field's going to be packed every game. Well, with increased demand and full house, there's a higher risk of fraud, and it's even more important that you make the customer experience of their tickets easy and safe.
For people like my father, who aren't great with technology, what kind of tips can you give them to get used to this mobile ticketing?
Well, the first thing is to do it early, right? If you can link the Jaguars app to your tickets and do it early, save your tickets to your mobile phone, your mobile wallet, or your Google Pay. That makes it easy. Don't depend on anything else. Or call our staff and we can walk you through step by step to make sure it's easy for you.
Finally, where can Jaguars fans find more information on this?
On jaguars.com/mobile tickets, we have a step-by-step tutorial. We have videos that show you every button to click. We've made it really easy, and that's the best place to go for information.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Ashlyn. Carroll Phillips stops Ito Smith's forward progress on the kickoff return at the 31-yard line. So with 13-18 to play in this third preseason game at TIAA Bank Field, the Jaguars on top 17-6. Matt Schaub remains the quarterback. Two backs this time.
Prowler down low. Brian up top.
Tight end in motion. And here's the toss to Crawford running to the right side looking for the cutback. He finds his seam and he's out across the 35 near the 36-yard line. A pickup of nearly 5 before Manasseh Hungalu makes the stop. You want to try that name?
Manasseh Hungalu.
One take. Hall of Fame. Right there, folks. Put the ball near the 36-yard line. Second down and 6 after a gain of just under 5 yards. Receiver stacked at the bottom of your screen. Jaguars adjusting. Play action for Schaub deep in the pocket. Time, turns, throws. He's got a man, but a great open field tackle made by the safety Wilson on the receiver who was out of the backfield, Luke McNitt.
Brian, that was pretty good coverage by the secondary. Off the play action fake right there. Running back leaks in the backfield. Not much place to go for Schaub. Really good job by Wilson out there in the flat, securing the one-on-one open field tackle.
Give him the 38-yard line for a gain of just over 2 yards, and it brings up third down and a long 3. Tied into the wing to the left. 3 receivers. Schaub takes the snap and looks left all the way. Dumps, throws it off at his intended target. Could not pull it in. I mean, he just dropped it over the line of scrimmage for Dantes Bird. Incomplete, and the Falcons will have to punt. And we'll see Rashad Green Sr. back to retrieve this punt. It's kind of a crazy little throw by
the
Matt Schaub.
Defensive line they were able to get upfield and create some pressure. Just a poorly thrown ball by Schaub there to his receiver.
Because Bird was open and there was room for him to run. So here's Senior, who last week had a 57-yard punt return to set up the game-winning touchdown in Minneapolis. He's back at the 15-yard line. Again, fighting to make this team after 2 years on injured reserve.
It's all about the more you can do, Brian.
Great punt. Green gets underneath this one. And he is hit and spun down. Back inside the 10-yard line. 17-6, the Jaguars lead the Falcons. We're back in Jacksonville in just a moment. Tim Cook is the halfback now with Tommy Bohannon, who's the only fullback on the roster. And he's happy to play in the fourth quarter of a preseason game to have that designation, isn't he, Fred?
Of course he is.
Here's the handoff to Cook, running to the left side, spinning back to the inside, putting that 242-pound body to use. Give him the 16.
Although it's 11 minutes remaining in the game, Brian, I think the coaches want to take a bit of a 4-minute approach.
Which means what to the average fan who's watching this evening?
The 4-minute approach is basically you want to run the clock out. You want to have the mentality of taking some time off the clock, sprinkle in some short passes here and there. The running back is tight right here, so I'd expect run.
And you got it. And look at Big Tim Cook charge to the 20-yard line, setting up third down, a little bit more than a yard. And the stop made by the defensive end.
Being up 11, Brian, at this point in the game, you definitely want to try and keep the Falcons offense there on the sideline. Just having the 4-minute mentality.
Brandon Wilds checks in. He had some success running in short yardage situations against the Vikings last week.
If he's outside of this tackle, I'd expect a quick pass.
Jags a solid 50% this evening on third down, 5 of 10. Kessler in the pocket, steps up. Now he's going to try to run outside the pocket, and he started too late, sacked. 18-yard line will bring on the punt team. So here comes Logan Cook, whose first punt was only 35 yards.
Let's see this Falcons secondary here on the back end. Not a whole lot. Everybody's covered. Everybody's covered there. Nowhere to go for Kessler. So he did the best thing he could do, was make a good decision, tuck. Try to get the first down.
Live to punt, right?
Live to punt.
Send that defense out.
And again, he showed some pretty good decision making out there, Brian.
Here is a much better offering from the rookie from Mississippi, and the ball is free. And the Jaguars had a shot at it. Justin Crawford recovered it. That was a high hanging punt that probably got lost in the lots. Mississippi State's own Logan Cook now here in Jacksonville. We'll take a break after the 53-yard punt. 17-6 Jaguars lead, and we're back right after this. Time to take a look at tonight's Drive of the Game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. Well, that pass to Dante Moncrief got things started. Then this run by Corey Grant for more than 20 yards set up this beauty, Fred, by Leonard Fournette.
Amazing play, amazing show of just all types of ability there by Leonard. Patient, vision, running through arm tackles. Great drive there by the offense.
That's tonight's Geico Drive of the Game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. Malik Williams with a big gain there for the Falcons. Give him 8 yards to the 39-yard line. 9:20 the clock running, fourth quarter, just the way we like it. Third preseason game, and the guys on the field want more opportunity. A lot of them are going to get it next week. What do you expect of Doug Marrone in terms of the fourth preseason game and this veteran team?
Brian, well, you know, because he said if there were any injuries out there more than he would like, he wouldn't hesitate to pull some guys out. Here you have the rookie chase down from the backside here on the running back. Look, that shows the hustle. That shows the reason they brought him in here. A kid who's tough. He's very disciplined. Earlier in the opening, I mentioned his dad was a former Navy SEAL, Ryan. And pretty much that's what you're going to get from just a hard-nosed young man who just wants to come out here, fit in with the guys that are around him, the defense that was great a year ago, and show why the team drafted him 29th overall.
Well, Doug Marrone told us yesterday that he just didn't know what to say about Taven because he hadn't seen it. And he's not comfortable talking about players that he hadn't seen. Well, that's another play by Brian. So Doug Marrone is seeing a lot of this young defensive lineman. I was in Dallas when they drafted him, and I remember being mildly surprised at how big he is. He's a defensive lineman. He's supposed to be big, but he's just built thick, Fred. The Wyoming Wild Man from Casper.
Wow, man. Old Gator. Gator.
You and Ashland and this guy would have a nice time together after the game, I'm sure. Ashland being a Gator as well. She's smiling. She doesn't hide it. There's a quick throw and a quick tackle right at the marker. Here's a look at that Jaguars 2018 draft. They're really excited about it. Brian, obviously, for what we've been talking about the last few minutes, but DJ Chark has really come on strong.
Brian, you see right here, that group and that group right there?
I hear you. SEC.
SEC, baby.
SEC.
We have nowhere to go to find them.
Well, look, those three guys at the top are excellent football players.
Yes, they are.
I take nothing away from that conference. It is as good as there has ever been. Here's play action and pressure coming, and Wilson on the sack of Kurt Benkert. Drops him all the way back.
Up play by Wilson there on the blitz. He was able to avoid the running back that was there to pick him up. See, he's here on the outside. He's able to avoid the running back with attempted pass protection for a sack. Just a good job overall.
So marching back, 2nd and 21 now at the 41-yard line. The quarterback, Kurt Benkert, a rookie free agent from Virginia. Corners pressed up on the outside, now backing off slightly. There's a quick screen play and a nice move made to get free out across the 44 to the 45. And that's Justin Crawford, a rookie free agent running back from West Virginia. 3rd and very long. You know, this big guy coming off here, Silver Salinga, has been playing a lot lately. 345 pounds. He is a space eater.
There are not a whole lot of plays in the playbook for the Falcons with 3rd and 17 here. I expect the Jaguars to either go man coverage and apply some pressure, force them to get it out quick, or go zone and allow the guys up front here to get after the quarterback.
Benkert takes the waist high delivery, drops to throw, has a receiver, catch is made, but shy of the marker. They hold him up at the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th and 2 for the Falcons. You'd expect them to go for it here. Under 5.5 minutes now to play here in the ball game, and the Jaguars own an 11-point advantage.
Yeah, I think they'll go for it here in the preseason, Brian. Being down 11, pretty much a no-brainer here. Plus, you're allowing your offense an opportunity, allowing those young guys an opportunity to get another play in.
If you're standing down there on the sidelines right now and you're one of those guys fighting for it, you want your defense to hold so the offense can get back out there, right? You're an offensive player for the Falcons. You want a first down. Malik Williams, by the way, out of the backfield in motion. Benkert to throw it 4th and 2. This pass is going to be off the outstretched fingertips of Dontez Bird, incomplete. The Jaguars take over. 17-6, Jaguars on top here on the Jaguars Television Network. Welcome back to TIAA Bank Field, where the Jaguars lead the Falcons 17-6. We want to take a moment. We talk about heroes here all the time. And the heroes, the men and women who defend this country and stand for the honor and the liberty that comes with it. A great American died this evening. No matter what political party that you call home, John McCain was a great American war hero, prisoner of war, and a guy who fought in the Senate for years representing the great state of Arizona. And so we send our condolences here from Jacksonville. He was once stationed at NAS Jacksonville. He was once here on the First Coast, and so we send our condolences to Mrs. McCain and his daughters and his family. He was an American who epitomized what it meant to make a sacrifice for your country. Back to football, the Jaguars lead 17-6 with 4:20 left to play in the game. One back. And here is Kessler setting up the screen. Corey Grant's got it, and the Falcons have it as well. No gain on the play. Grant just couldn't get away. White shirts all over the place.
Yeah, nicely defended by the Falcons there on the screen play.
Kessler's had a nice night. 7 of 7 for 79 yards, and of course he had the touchdown run. Getting everybody lined up. He knows this offense, having spent a lot of time with Blake Bortles in the lead up from when he was traded to when we got to training camp. Back to throw, and he's hit and sacked. A wall of white shirts coming on the blitz. Jadon Mickens, DeAndre Smelter couldn't get free down the field, and so here comes Logan Cook for his third punt of the night.
Yeah, Brian, the young guys, they have to separate here against the Falcons' coverage on the back end. Allow the quarterback an opportunity to go somewhere with the ball.
A 35-yard punt and a 53-yard punt. So averaging gross 44 yards per punt, which is respectable. That 53-yarder, though, I think Fred really showed what this kid's capable of. You know, he played at Mississippi State.
He's a big, strong leg.
Look how high he gets it. The ball just hangs there and gives the coverage team a chance to get down the field. And the Falcons get it out near the 24-yard line. C.J. Rivas ripping down the field, headed towards Isaiah Oliver. Oliver sets it up at the 24. We'll take a break and return after this on the Jaguars Television Network. 17-6, but the Falcons have the ball at their own 24-yard line. Kurt Benkert remains the quarterback. Justin Crawford, his tailback. Tight end and 3 receivers. And Benkert on the run outside the pocket, turns and throws, and he's got him in, and the catch is made, and the receiver is still on his feet. And Bird is all the way to the Jaguars' 35-yard line on a broken play.
There was some early miscommunication here, down here by the defenders down there. Here he is, man coverage, and the receiver just beat the guy inside. Pretty good throw and catch by the Falcons.
Pretty good for 41 yards. Benkert back to throw, fires it to the runner back out of the backfield, and Crawford gets up the sideline, and they'll put him out of bounds at about the 27.
This group that's out there now, Brian, they got to understand, yeah, you're trying to make this team, you want to make the roster. The best way to do that is to be able to make a stop, find a way to finish for your head ball coach.
Falcons break the huddle. And Benkert surveys the defense, which is crowding the line of scrimmage here late in the going. And there's the runner breaking tackles and fighting for extra yardage down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. And once again, that's Crawford, the rookie free agent from West Virginia. Atlanta will use the timeout. Try to leverage the clock here a little bit and get these situations in. Fred, let's talk a little bit about in generalities now. You can get as specific as you want, but let's talk about the first team offense. People are going to look at the stats and see 2 interceptions from Blake. One of those was a tip ball, and the other, yeah, I think you correctly pointed out that Dante Moncrief did him a disservice.
I think Dante and Blake, they'll have to split the bill. They got to split the check, is what I like to call it, on that second interception. Going Dutch. Yeah, and Moncrief, his job is to clear out right there on that route to allow Blake an opportunity to get the ball to Westbrook. But Moncrief was able to draw the defender's eyes back to Blake. The first one was a tip ball for the second week in a row. Again, I think Blake could have had more balance in his body and not throw it across his body. And he'll go back and watch the film. He'll say, hey, I was a bit off balance there. I can't make that type of throw. I just have to tuck it, you know, and try and do something positive with it.
How about Taven Bryan with a little tip ball action right there? He was double teamed, and he still managed to get his arms up and knock that ball down. It brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20 of the Jaguars.
That's simply a product of hustle.
Here's a heave to the end zone, looking for Dontez Bird, and it's incomplete.
You know, a week ago, Brian, we saw, what was it, 20 yellow flags on the ground?
20. 13 on the home, well, on this home team.
Yes.
7 on that home team.
And now this week is an entirely different crew, and they're allowing the guys to just go out there and play.
How about the Jags defense, Fred? And let me throw this number at you. The last 2 games, opponents are just 1 of 21. 4.76% on 3rd down. We know this defense is really good.
Yep.
That is astounding.
That's an amazing stat. And that's probably the highlight of the entire preseason for the coaching staff.
Here's 3rd down and 10. And there is a pass that might move those chains. Looks like it will. Gage found his way inside. We'll take a break as we get the 2-minute warning. 17-6, and we're back in just a moment. All right, the medical training staff surrounding C.J. Rivas, an undrafted rookie free agent safety from Marshall. We're going to show you what happened here, and you can see, Fred, that he lowers his head.
Yeah, Brian, and this is the reason why the NFL is, they've tried their best to protect the players, player safety. And now you have a pretty controversial, at the moment, helmet rule that's fairly gray. But here, Rivas trying to make a tackle and do something to make this roster. He led with his head there, and, let's just hope he's okay.
Well, they had taken the cart with a stretcher on it out onto the field, and now they've pulled it off. So perhaps that's a sign that it is not as severe as it looked, and they are helping him to his feet, which is proof that it's not as bad as it looked. That rule is so important, Fred.
Yeah, it's very important.
You can't lead with your head.
No, you can't. And it's tough on the defenders. The game is so fast, and they're out there reacting and trying to make a play. And when you tell yourself keep your head up, the play's moving so fast, Brian. You never know. You don't know the reaction of the offense, the ball carrier. You don't know if they're going to stay up, go low, and you've already launched to try and secure the tackle, in a stop, and things happen. So the game happens so fast, and the ref's going to call what they see, whether it's good or bad. Bottom line is they're trying to protect the players.
Scary moment, not as bad as we thought as he walked off the field and straight up the tunnel. Here's a quick throw, and the crossing route didn't connect. Incomplete. Clock stops with 1:54 left to play. So Taven Bryan is still out on the field. Now, I know that does your heart good. You like seeing the Wyoming Wild man, the former Gator, on the field.
Coach Marone said he wanted to see him. He hadn't played this offseason. Now he's interior lineman here, down low. Excuse me, I missed it.
Here's a throw for the end zone, incomplete. Cody Davis in coverage. That is the thing about him. There is a flag down back at the 15-yard line. He can play the big end.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 90.
Well,
after this is the goal, automatic first down.
Maybe you would have liked to have taken him out to play before this, after that penalty, but
he's going to learn. I mean, he has a lot to learn. He has a ton to learn. Here he is here. Nice move to be able to create some separation.
Going low, I guess.
I think he was blocked into him. It's a pretty close call for the ref, but I think he was blocked into him. But again, usually he plays the big D end. Here he is there on the interior. So versatility is value in this league, people at home. The more you can do, the more you get paid.
That's the name of the game, isn't it? It's pro ball. It's about the money. But the ability for him to be able to line up inside, outside, big end. He could even play Malik Jackson's backup role as that 3-technique tackle because he's got. I remember one of the first days watching him in a special teams drill, and to see a 6'5", 300-pound man move as suddenly as he does. And he's bullish. He's got that big chest, and you just don't think a guy like that should move as quickly as he does, and that's why he plays in the NFL.
And the Jaguars were able to get a 2-for-1 in the draft, get him at the 29th pick of the first round of this year's draft.
Let's check in downstairs. Brent Martineau was there watching. Let's get an update from him. Brent.
Yeah, I wanted to update everybody on C.J. Rivas. Walked off the field into the locker room, obviously, and all his teammates came up, patting him on the shoulder pads. Official word from the Jacksonville Jaguars, concussion protocol. So you never say concussion, good news, but that looked really scary at first sight. So concussion for C.J. Rivas. He's in the locker room.
Well, it's the better of two bad outcomes, that's for sure. There's a throw quickly to Crawford. He couldn't connect with it. He wasn't looking. And it brings up 4th and goal from the 4-yard line for the Falcons.
Yeah, that's not good for the young running back there out of the backfield. He had a walk-in touchdown if he just secures the catch. But Brian, just going back to Taven, going back to Brian, I think the Jaguars got a really solid pick in being able to have a guy that's versatile and being able to play multiple positions. And as Doug said last night, he wanted to see him, and availability is your best ability.
And there's an incomplete pass, and the Jaguars take over on downs. You're right about that. Here's the other thing to consider. Next year, the Jaguars have more than $60 million already for their for their defensive front to get a cheap player of his ability. Cheap being a relative term, obviously.
Right.
But to be a guy that's playing on a rookie contract along that defensive line, it's the only way you're going to upgrade it.
Yeah, in this league, you know, you can be a great player, but it's all about value. If you can get a younger player with a lot of potential, you know, that's, you know, relatively cheaper in comparisons to the salary that the superstar, quote-unquote, player is getting or earning, then naturally the decisions have to be made, and they're going to be made in the front office. I think Dave Caldwell, Tom Coughlin, you know, those guys up front, they're going to do a pretty good job, as they've done thus far in building this team. So we'll see what happens then.
Here's the handoff to Tim Cooks. And don't forget, look, they brought in John Idzik, a former general manager of the Jets, had been with the Bucs and the Seahawks, to work with Tim Walsh and salary cap management, obviously. So, you know, the moves that they have made over the last couple of years have had a strategic flow to them. Are they telling us that plan? No. But when I've asked Dave about it, he's been calm, cool, collected, says, we got a plan for that. And that's no surprise to anybody who knows those guys.
And they've done a terrific job in using their approach of building through the draft, as he said he liked to do, bringing in, you know, the free agents at certain positions to allow them to have certain roles on the team, and just filling the spots, you know, filling the spots throughout the draft, bringing in, they drafted well. I would agree to say.
DJ Chark, Ronnie Harrison, we showed you the list. All the way down to Logan Cook, whose last punt was 45 yards, right at his gross average this evening. Here's Cook again, trying to bounce it outside. Spins back to the middle. And the Falcons will use their final timeout with 1:25 left to play here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Brian, we're just in 4-minute mode. The offense, they ran a power play on the last play there. Not a whole lot inside. Cook did a pretty good job of bouncing it outside. You know, and the Falcons, they're just in run defense.
So let's go from the roster at quarterback. Cody Kessler. Feel real comfortable with him being number 2, don't you?
You have to. I mean, Blake, he solidified, you know, the job as the starter. You know, the controversy or quarterback competition, I should say, that was here at this point last year. You know, that's gone. And Blake, he's comfortable. He knows what his role is. He knows he's by far the leader of this team. He's going to lead this offense, you know, hopefully a little 30 minutes further than he led them last year. And Kessler, being able to have that confidence and a backup in Kessler, just allows Blake to go out there and play the way he wants to play, and allows the coaches to call it the way they want to call it.
Here's Kessler rolling out. Look at him. He could run all the way. Oh, he took a hit as he was trying to make himself defenseless. He didn't quite go far enough. He bounces up at the 15-yard line, but that first down is all he needed to run this clock out. Tough kid. Like him a lot. Enjoyed the conversation with him in Minnesota.
Tough kid. He has to also understand that those are young guys on the Atlanta Falcons side of the ball that are trying to impress upon their coaches and make plays.
So maybe,
you know, if it was a veteran guy, maybe he would have let up on Cody there. You know, but Kessler, I think you got to get down a bit sooner. But this is,
he wanted the first down so he could do this.
The best play in football, victory personnel. You got to love it.
And I think that he does. 2 weeks in a row with that.
2 weeks in a row with victory formation.
Losses, they don't count in the preseason, but it does make practice a little bit easier when you're building off of a tape that has more good plays than bad, right?
Yeah, it's always about the tape. The preseason, this matters, but what matters most is getting back in the film room. You know, and there are going to be mistakes all over the place. There are going to be some good plays. There are going to be some bad plays. You know, there are going to be some hustle plays, some plays where the guys are loafing, and the coach is going to all go back out there, and they're going to talk about it. They're going to say, hey, these are the best guys that we can go forward with, the guys that we can trust, the guys that are going to give us the best opportunity to win.
All right, the Jaguars win 17-6, and we'll be back to wrap this one up from TIAA Bank Field when we return in just a moment.